Well, it's a pleasure to meet the Batra Parivar. I absolutely love the film, and I'm coming from a very honest space because it reminded me of my own childhood in Delhi back in the 70s and 80s. Now everyone knows how old I am. But ma'am, let me ask you, why did it take you so long? 12 years you've made us wait. It's so good to see you back on screens.
Well, I was, I think, busy doing a lot of other things. I had moved from Mumbai to Delhi because my mother-in-law was not keeping very well. So we decided to come and be with her. Then I was restoring Pataudi. I was with CBFC. I was doing UNICEF work as a Goodwill ambassador. So, and nobody came to me, a script that excited me. So whatever, I mean, I was living my life. It's not that I just stopped waiting for a film. But when it came, it was Gulmohar, and it was a beautiful script. It was very organic. I mean, it came and I said yes, and the film happened. So I cannot believe it. I think we started last March, around that time, we started shooting, and now a year later it's releasing. And it's just been wonderful, and it's been, now that you say it's been that many years, it was worth the wait.
So can I say Kusum Batra is you? I mean, was there a resonance? Because she's the matriarch, she is the one. There is no loud beating of the chest and like very subtly she's got the family together, which could be falling apart. Did you kind of resonate with her? Because you also are as old as her, you're a grandmom now.
Yes, because that is why I love the script so much. Manoj says that it's very exciting to work different roles. That is not necessarily but something different, which is also very exciting. But to play yourself as an actor is also very interesting. Finding resonance, and yet, it's different. So, yes, I definitely found resonance, and especially, son and grandson, and seeing, I mean, if you notice in the film that she's always observing, when people are saying something, she's noticing it, she's looking at it. Because Rahul's film is so subtle, either you get it, or if you missed it, you've missed it. So I think, like, I've seen it 3 times, and I'm still discovering new facets. So yes, I really loved Kusum, and it resonated with me.
Wow. And also, I mean, the 4 amazing talent, the creative energy must have been just amazing. It must have made your job easier.
Yeah. Thanks. I want more work though. But it was so stunning, really. I remember when I cast the 4 of them, it just brought a different energy to the idea of the project. Because obviously I just had a script, but when I had the 4 of them and I could put faces and talent to the characters, it became very more exciting. And also it raised the bar. Yeah. Because after the 4 of them, it was only going up.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Manoj, your character also, he has an identity, which is suddenly he realizes is not the identity he's lived with. What was it like? And also working with ma'am, I mean, this is a casting we were waiting for it to happen. Finally happened.
We belong to different worlds, and that is why people are so excited, to see us together. But it has been a privilege. Okay, I will not say it in many words. All I would say that when you are working with, Sharmila ji or great actors from that generation whom you have seen and grown up watching, you have a vivid memory of your childhood, watching a film, saw those faces, and suddenly you are standing next to them. It's something that you can't explain. And this must have happened to Sharmila ji also when she must have started working.
Of course.
So it's that is because we are students of cinema, students of acting, and you feel completely miraculous when you are standing or working next to the people who you've seen.
Like working with Balraj Sahni, Motilal ji, Sanjeev was,
so it's
same age, but that era was fantastic.
हाँ, दूसरा सा आपका जवाब क्या सवाल करते हैं?
Our belongingness, I mean, identity, seeking identity.
Yeah, seeking identity is something has been a struggle. I think it's a very common struggle of each and every human being.
Ji.
And I'm no different from the population. Okay, so you know that feeling. the struggle of belongingness. Okay, so you come from your own space and try to take it to the character, you know, where he is and in whatever position that he is, and that's how you try to understand. In all these years of acting and, you know, learning acting and doing theater, I have learned only one thing, that you don't observe other people, you observe yourself, and you try to find yourself in those characters and take a reference from your own experience, your own personality, and then enhance it for that character.
Absolutely.
So, you know, Arun Batra he never looked, you know, alien to me. Not that my father was like that, never. Rather, I would say that, you know, those two people are completely opposite, my father and Arun Batra. But I am somewhere inside me have been trying to calm down that aspect of Arun Batra, what he is conflicted about. So when I understand myself and my own conflict, I can understand the character's conflict.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely. And Simran, and to ma'am also, what I liked, and Rahul actually, the fact is that I love the way you portrayed the women. They're actually leading the men home, because the men, both the gentlemen here, are the ones who really need help. You know? And the thing is, usually, you know, in the narratives you have these women, har fasad ki jad, but nothing of that sort. It's actually the men. So was that refreshing when your career, you know, when this came to you? I mean, this particular character came to you, and I like the fact that she has a nook joke with her mother-in-law, and she's okay, snubs her when she wants to.
See, the best part about Gulmohar, what I take away from this film is, you know, they are not dragging the sad emotions. They are just moving on. They are casual about it. There is a dialogue in the film where Amul Palekar ji says to ma'am that, you know, tum to apne bachcho ke saath brandy pi rahi ho, ye ho. Something, you know, there's a dialogue which is very direct. Be it would have been 10-15 years ago, then iska bahut bada, you know, ek bakheda khada ho sakta tha is dialogue ka. और हम उसको फिल्म में एक ड्रैग करते उस इमोशन को, वो मतलब और फ्यू सीन्स तक जाता है, लेकिन यहाँ पर शी जस्ट लुक्स एट हर सन एंड अरुण इज लाइक वहीं पर खत्म.
Absolutely, but this happens in regular
Yeah,
families.
yeah, exactly.
The mother is sharing
Yeah.
the brandy with her son and grandchildren.
Yeah, it's normal. I mean, they're just finishing the sad emotions then and there. Like when Kaveri comes and tells Suresh, "अरे तो क्या हो गया? मांग लो ना अपने डैड से यार, कौन सा big," you know. So all these dialogues are like, I mean, this film is so relatable. You know, you'll find your favorite character. Like my son found a favorite character in Suraj. My husband finds favorite character in Manoj ji. You know, it's like that for me. You know, it's a very beautiful film. It's a complete whole package all over. And clear, जो subject मुझे सुनाया था इतने सालों पहले, जो dialogue के साथ सुनाया गया था, जो narration दी थी राहुल जी ने मुझे, exactly वो मैं आज भी देख रही हूँ.
Exactly. It's very
वो
well
clarity,
written.
yeah, वो clarity is like magnanimous, phenomenon, fabulous. मतलब अच्छा है.
Yes, मतलब
काम
अच्छा है.
करके बहुत अच्छा लगा.
इतना सब बोलने के बाद मतलब अच्छा है.
बहुत बढ़िया.
No, no, the 200 episode Bunyad we had, I just felt it was a modern day Bunyad. In 2 hours.
It's a beautifully written script.
Dialogue.
And the dialogues are so beautiful. They don't sound like dialogues, but it has lot of gravity, lot of meaning. And then when you say it, you feel, as Manoj just said, that you go inside yourself and understand what it means, and then you again, you know, take it out. I mean, then you can put it in the character. So it has lot of gravity, and it sort of, we enjoyed saying it, loved hearing it, you know, on the screen. Just
And I'm
beautiful.
so glad that we have a film like this coming, and we are not bound by the commercials and the box office now, because I think it's a very good time, because we have it on this platform. It's going to be watched by everyone. And there is Suraj there. I mean, any resonance with Aditya, because Aditya is going, I think, through the conflict of the current generation, all of them. You want to make it on your own. You don't want to depend on your parents, but you are somewhere like finding yourself.
100%. There's this certain frustration in trying to do what you want to do without being a bhoj on the family per se. And like, you know, me myself and a lot of my friends who are trying to do something new or different, or like something which is not like normative, will find themselves in this situation. And like I feel one of the most important parts of this whole thing is that moment where you feel like, ab yaar mujhse aur nahi hoga ye, you know, and it's almost like getting past that is key and is so important. And I feel like with today's times, with all the startups and all this social media culture, and like trying to create like small businesses through that medium, there's a lot of this. And so one of the main thing that comes through for me is like the idea of family and support. As in one case, which is in this case, it's like I really can't find a way to say it except that a seed has to fall from the tree and it will hurt, but it has to be aware and accepting of that, and then whatever, blah blah blah, you know. So I feel like his struggle is super relatable, and you see it every day.
Absolutely. And there's a dialogue, as I said, that we don't actually go to our family who are the closest to us with the deepest problems. We avoid them. And as his character says, everyone's from their own home in their own room. We all like islands, like sometimes I'm guilty of that too. I live with my parents and I'm guilty of that. I have my own island and I don't speak to them. But seeing this, you're like, you never know what, as your character, what might happen. But are you the grandmom that the grandchildren come to with their problems and they can't tell their parents? Are you that grandmom?
You mean as me?
Yeah.
Yes, I think they do. They do, because my, I mean, I've got 2 grown-up grandkids. The other are very small. But even little Inaya wrote me a little letter saying, "You are super and stay super." Wow. Now, that's sort of really big. So that sort of thing, you know when to help, when not to help. Like I remember taking Soha to school, and one boy came and pushed her. So she fell down, and I was ready to fight the battle. But before I could do that, Soha got up and pushed the boy right back.
Well done.
So I said, okay, so I don't have to get involved here. So I didn't like that. So yeah, when you have a family, you stay tuned and you try and help each other. And I think as the senior person, you have to leave your doors open. And if they want to talk to you, they will. If they don't want to talk to you, they won't. But you always know what is happening, and you can throw hints here and there that I'm available in case you want.
Absolutely.
Just leave the door open.
No, I totally get that. And also in this particular narrative is it's meant to be and it's not meant to be. I want to ask all of you, in life, a moment that you can share where you thought it was meant to be and it was not meant to be. Because that was like, it ends, I mean, people who watch will know.
I should say about the way this film got made, really. It was just meant to be. I mean, we went through so many hurdles, but when we made it, we came together and we made it with so much love. And we were, I think, all of us were very eager to make this film. We were very passionate to make this film. And it shows. So that was meant to be.
Yeah.
And whatever hasn't happened, it's really not meant to be. So no point thinking about it.
Like with me, when I got married at sort of height of my career, everybody said that, you know, it's, I mean, it's very stupid to get married at this stage. You know, you won't be accepted as a heroine anymore. Others said, well, your marriage will break up if you continue to work. But it didn't happen that way, what they predicted. So I think it was meant to be. I was, you know, I couldn't give up work and I couldn't give up my family. And I came back home one night and, you know, everybody was asleep, and I realized I needed to wake up people and wanting to talk to them, because I knew at that point that I couldn't be a single career person. Family was very important to me. And I wanted both. And as Simran said, that it's not easy always. You need other people's support also. But you get it. But if you want something, then you have to work for it. And I did, and I think I can say that I got what I wanted.
Absolutely. And you laid the ground rules that we actors like Simran are, you know, benefiting from. You were a path breaker.
Yes, and women's work is respected. At one time, women's work was not respected. Now it is. You know, it's and Rahul stayed back to look after his his son. And, you
I was
know,
just going to say that even the men have learned from women, and you know, it's very important for the men to know that it is an equal responsibility.
Absolutely.
If the woman is going out for work, it's not a big deal. It's just what needs to be done. You can stay at home and you can take care of the home.
and
you
what
should.
they want to do.
Yeah.
They're getting joy out of
Yeah.
it. Why should you deprive them
Absolutely.
of that joy?
Absolutely.
Meant to be,
equal.
not meant to be?
See, what doesn't happen is not meant to be. Basically. And yes, this film was meant to be happen, and with Manoj ji, because I'll tell you why. Because you know, few years ago, I used to work out in a gym called Barbarian in Bombay, and I used to see Manoj ji and even Saif and Sonu Sood and many people, and that used to be a happening gym of those days, like few years, I mean 15, 20, few years. And that time he had acted in Satya. And then I used to go to gym, and I used to go down south to work and then come back. My house was in Bombay. But I never thought like, you know, कि मेरे को ये film करनी है, इसके साथ काम करना है, उसके साथ हम सब अपना काम करते हैं because we are in the industry. But this was meant to be after so many years.
So much.
Yes.
That's so sweet.
So thank you so much.
Yeah.
And yes, working with ma'am, she's such a warm person. She always held my hand whenever I had a scene with her, and she was like, and she talks very warm. So that love, that warmth, I can feel what she's speaking. She's always like that. She's very humble and kind.
And the two gentlemen, the Batra boys, meant to be, not meant to be.
For me, I mean, it sounds kind of dumb after all of you because you're just so good at. For me, I wanted to play football when I was a kid. Growing up, I only played football. That's all I did. It's what I wanted to do. Then I broke my foot really badly, and I was getting tryouts for a pretty decent club and all this. And I broke my foot, and they put a metal plate in my foot. And that's when I realized, well, that's not meant to be. Huh? My meant to be story is a little bit ulta, क्योंकि ना क्या हुआ कि when I started this whole thing, at that point maybe I didn't fully choose this, you know, with Life of Pi. So for many years, people kept telling me it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and ulta I got angry. Ki, what does that mean? You know, I didn't. Then I suddenly wanted to shirk it or fight it, and then many years later, because there was a point where I didn't get a job for a long time. I had audition. बहुत इतने सारे 200 के आसपास, and I couldn't get anything. And then something switched in my head, and it was not that I kind of realized I wanted. It was almost like, as opposed to it's meant to be. It was almost like my mind started telling me I mean to be. You know what I'm saying? Like it became suddenly you have to find a choice in this thing. So that's my thing.
So revolutionary.
बागी है ये बागी है
मतलब अच्छा है
ये
मतलब
बागी
अच्छा
है
है
अच्छा है, good. मतलब
Good.
he follows his instinct.
I get
and
his vibe
Yeah.
because I'm also meant to be or not meant to be. Yeah, I not meant to be.
So this is what you're meant to be.
This is where you are meant to be.
This is where
हाँ जी मनोज सर बताइए.
nice answer. Very nice.
This is where I am, and this was meant to be. It's still, you know, many times actually I keep, you know, thinking, is it for real? You know, is it for real? Every time that keeps happening to me. And I'm working with such talents. I'm sitting here next to Sharmila ji, you know. Then I have done a film with Mr. Bachchan, who I also admired from my childhood. And जैसे कि सूरज ने उसमें कहा था कि you don't feel nervous when you are working because you are professional. All of us are doing our job, but the moment the camera is off, you say, is it for real?
Is it? I get that.
Is it for real? You know?
But I believe you were not accepted at NSD.
No.
So that
So
was
I
a
will.
moment,
No. So
wasn't
that
it?
was not meant. So I have. I had a very strong desire to get into National School of Drama,
जी.
and that desire has never died down. Believe me. I still feel that I wish I could go back into my 20s and get into National School of Drama. It's that huge in me.
Wow.
But 4 years, kept on trying, and kept on doing theatre outside. Outside, I was started being recognized and famous and gaining credibility, and every year getting rejected by National School of Drama. So after 4th year, I said, Manoj Bajpayee, you can't go on like this. You have to stop it somewhere. And that was the time I said it was not meant to be.
There you are. That's the Suraj moment.
Yeah, the Suraj moment.
Yeah.
The Batra boys have a connection.
There
That's
you
how this film was meant to be, and both of you were meant to play dad and son.
And it was prompted by
Yeah,
me.
yes. Actually, I could not get that. Thank you, Sharmila ji. Thank you very much.
And as we wrap up, I must tell you an interesting story of ma'am when she had a little starstruck moment was when Shashi Kapoor came on the sets of Kashmir Ki Kali.
Yes. Oh
She
my
couldn't
God.
focus on her take because she was distracted by his eyelashes.
Totally. I saw Prem Patra and I couldn't sleep for weeks. And then, of course, things happened and I was cast. I was working in Kashmir Ki Kali, and Shashi walked in to say something to Shammi ji, and I just couldn't. So then Shakti ji said, Shashi, please step out, my heroine can't work. And then, of course, he said, oh, I've seen Abu Shamshar and you're very good. But yeah, seriously, I was absolutely frozen.
And whenever I see Shashi Kapoor and I see ma'am, I'm like that moment because it's priceless. But thank you so much. And lastly, before we go, ma'am, is it tough being a parent now, the way your grandsons are papped all the time? Do you think you had it easier?
Yes, of course. I mean, I don't really know. Even then, people would pinch Saif's cheek and said, "Bade hoke kya banoge beta? Cricketer banoge ya actor banoge?" And he would say a hockey star or hockey player. He used to get really annoyed. But yes, this is different. But I've learned from Sarah that you need to accept and not fight it, because that's the reality. And you don't know, and it's okay. I think they will take it in their stride.
Yeah.
But they feel the attention of the media. They feel very important and they feel very special. And how that will pan out, we don't know.
Absolutely.
We really don't know, because it's not their achievement, it's their parents' achievement. So, who knows?
True, but thank you so much. So Rahul, can we expect a Gulmohar 2? What happens to Sumpatra in
I'd love
Pondicherry?
to make it.
Oh, that's good, huh?
Don't give it out.
That's
I'd
good,
love
huh?
to make it.
No, you can't. They have
Why
to go on
not?
and move
And
on
that
and
way she
make
can't say
something
that
else.
it's the last
We
one.
big
Sequel,
Batras
prequel,
have
yeah.
happened. Now you have to move on
Move
to
on.
another alphabet somewhere.
Yeah.
That would be, it's an
Another
idea,
flower.
you can work on that. It would be interesting to see.
I have the rights though. Just to,
No, you have the rights, but we would love to see what happens to maybe the Batra women. Just the Batra women.
why the men are so gorgeous.
अरे नहीं against
So
that is
आप
right.
हो गया.
Why you dislike me?
हमारा हो गया यार हमने figure out कर लिया हो गया
Yeah.
No,
Men are also meant to be.
Maybe just the backstory
no,
of the Batra
women don't want to live without men.
Yes.
And
Men
men don't want
definitely
to,
don't want to live without
without women, and we have to live together
Yes.
and work it out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.